77-year-old Alma Jones lived in Wake County, North Carolina in 1977. She was very well known in the community, with friends and family all over the neighborhood. On Christmas Day, her family came to visit. They made a startling discovery. Inside of Alma's home, they found her body. She had been assaulted, so investigators were able to retrieve DNA belonging to an unknown male from her body. Investigators questioned a lot of people, but was not able to get any useful information, and the case went cold. In 2011, the case was reopened when a case file was stumbled upon. Recently, with advances in DNA technology, investigators finally made progress. Using genetic genealogy, they were able to identify Paul Crowder as the man that took Alma's life. He lived just a few houses away from her. Crowder was not a suspect in the initial investigation, but he was questioned along with almost every other man who lived in the neighborhood at the time. Crowder passed away in 2015 at the age of 72. He had previously served time for an unrelated crime in Massachusetts. Investigators found one of his living family members and collected a DNA sample from them. After some more DNA testing, it was confirmed that he is indeed a person who took Alma's life. Raleigh Police Detective Jerry Falk said, "It was just a brutal crime. This case kind of stood out as one we really wanted to work on if we could. That question mark had been there for so many years. It is always a great feeling to be able to know and put a name with that person who is responsible for this crime." As technology continues to change and get better, I think there is hope that we can solve many more cases just like this. I would love to solve the next one just as much as I loved solving this one, because they're all important. 22-year-old Christy Bryant lived in National City in San Diego, California. She came to the area to serve in the Marine Corps until medically retiring in 1972 as a result of a car accident. By 1974, she was working as a clerk at a 7-Eleven. On July 31st, Christy was working alone at a store on 702 Highland Avenue. During her shift, a customer went in and discovered Christy's body. The police were immediately called. Investigators found that Christy had been stabbed numerous times. They collected evidence from the crime scene. Investigators noted that it was not just Christy's blood that was found at the crime scene, but also blood belonging to an unknown man. DNA testing was not available back then, so little could be done and the case went cold. In 2008, the suspect's blood was submitted to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department crime lab, but no matches could be made. Recently, investigators turned to genetic genealogy to help solve the case. The National City Police Department joined forces with the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. They got a genealogist to create a DNA profile and submit it to public DNA databases. It led them to 69-year-old Carlin Edward Cornett. He was found living in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cornett was arrested and taken into custody on September 14, 2021. He was booked into a Las Vegas jail and will be extradited to San Diego to face the charges against him. Christy's sister, Holly Bryant, who was just 20 years old when her sister's life was taken, had this to say, "It is a relief, but it's also unsettling because it's reliving so much of it. I do want him to pay for what he did, and I hope his family can accept it as well." Sergeant Mark Siegel, who was the lead detective on the case, said, "It never truly went cold. Detectives have always been looking at it, poking at it, evaluating it, reviewing and seeing what can be done. We don't forget about it, and it is important that people know that the law enforcement agencies will do whatever they can to seek justice on behalf of the family." San Diego County District Attorney Summer Stephan, who played a very important part in solving the case, said, "We are committed to solving cold cases in collaboration with our law enforcement partners. Pursuing justice for families who lost their loved ones to violence is a priority for us, no matter how many years have gone by. We never give up and continuously use the latest in crime scene investigation techniques to hold criminals accountable." 15-year-old Emily Jeanette Garcia lived in San Antonio, Texas in 1993. She was staying with her friends in the northeastern part of San Antonio. On February 25th, a woman's body was found near Cranes Mill Road and Canyon Lake in Comal County, Texas. The woman had been assaulted and strangled. During the autopsy, it was discovered that she had been pregnant for nearly 4 months when her life was taken. A year later, in 1994, she was identified to be Emily Garcia after a family member watched a local news report and contacted police. Many years went by without any updates in the case. In 2017, the Comal County Sheriff's Office reopened the case. In 2021, the Texas Rangers Unsolved Crimes Investigation Program also began trying to identify a suspect. The renewed investigation led to investigators interviewing several people that Emily knew. One of those people was 50-year-old Thomas Ray Galindo. New information uncovered in the interviews finally led to the arrest of Thomas. He was arrested at his home in Comal County on September 10, 2021. The U.S. Marshals, Gulf Coast Defenders, and Fugitive Task Force were the ones that arrested him. Thomas is currently being held in a Comal County jail. He was 21 years old at the time of the crime. It is not known yet how he was acquainted with Emily. Sheriff Mark Reynolds was one of the first people at a crime scene. It was his birthday when he got a call about a body being found. This is what he had to say about the arrest. There was very little in the way of identifying her. It took quite some time, even after the autopsy. Personally, I'm very glad an arrest has been made, and Emily Garcia is not forgotten. I hope this brings closure for her family.